Welcome to another edition of Affiliate ABCs. This is Debbie, also known as Loxley.
And this is NY Falcon, also known as Vinny.
You went backwards on me.
I knew you would like that one.
Yeah. We had a couple weeks break, but we have a bunch of podcasts coming up for you that'll be all in a row, hopefully. Hopefully you'll enjoy all of them. We've gotten some really good questions from people.
And some really bad questions.
And some really bad questions, which actually end up being good questions because then it gives us a topic that we didn't think about covering.
True. Like tonight's.
Yeah. Now, tonight's topic, it's something I've been thinking about, but people have been asking on Twitter lately things like, hey, should I start a blog on Tumblr or should I have a blog on my own website? And to me, it's a no-brainer that you should have your blog on your own website. But the point they made to me was, well, Tumblr has a community. So
put it on your own site, build your own community.
Exactly. So what we want to, what Vinny and I are going to kind of talk about now is, okay, so what should you do? You should build a home base, right?
Yeah, build everything has to go back to your site. Keep it on your site. You can use, I don't want to say you can use Blogger and all those things, but if you're going to, 2-snippet paragraph and run it back to a link back to your site. Ick, I hated that answer.
Okay, well, now there's good ways to use things like Blogger. I mean, back in the day when I was first starting to blog, I mean, we're talking 3-4 years ago, I used Blogger and I used
I had
Typepad,
one on Blogger too.
And I used Typepad, and I'm sure you didn't use Typepad, you did pay for it.
My favorite, GeoCities.
Oh, well, okay, now we're going back way far. No one should have a site on GeoCities anymore. If you do, pull the content down immediately, put it on your own website. One of the good things about if you have a blog on your own site, you have WordPress, okay? If you have an existing Blogspot or a Blogger account, and because that's where you started, you can import.
Sure. WordPress has that easy import and export feature. I'm not sure exactly where it is because I'm not looking at my back end, but it's there. Just 2 or 3 simple clicks and
you can pull in all your content.
Pull it right onto your own site.
So even if you did start on Blogspot, or Blogger, that's what you can do is pull it in. But back to the idea that places like Tumblr or Squidoo,
I just hear that name and I feel like I don't know.
Well, Squidoo got Google slapped for a while. They're back, but they actually got Google slapped because they were nothing but.
I have never used a search engine for a phrase and came across a Squidoo page. That wasn't
when
spamming.
they first started, you did, but it quickly got into a spam farm. And now there are a lot of people that are using lenses in the appropriate way, which is they put up a page that links back to their own websites. Yeah. Another thing you should you should stay away from is don't put your affiliate links on these places. You send all your traffic back to your own website, or else you've got 20 websites, 20 places like Facebook, MySpace, Squidoo, Blogspot, and Google Pages, and they all have affiliate links on them. Okay, your merchant just changed networks.
End of day.
End of day. You've got to go edit it in 25 places. Now, if you have it at home...
I'd like to take it in another direction. How about a place like, I forget the people that went out of business. It was something like when GeoCities was...
Oh, yes.
And they just disappeared overnight.
Gone.
And there's all your work. If you spent an hour a day...
Hypermart. Hypermart went totally paid, and your free site went away if you didn't pay for it.
Right. I think that's who I was thinking of. Now, all of a sudden, all of that work that you put in is gone.
Oh, there were others. There was Go.com. There was...
That's another mess, Go.com.
There was Go.com. There was something that NBC had that went away. Your content existed over there. And then we also know someone personally whose content got pulled off of Blogger.
Correct.
If Google decides they don't like what's on your blog, or if any of those content owners decide they don't like what's on that blog, they can take it.
Any sort of lawsuit that Google gets over a Blogspot blog, they're just going to pull the post, and that's it.
Exactly. And that's actually what happened is this
Right.
somebody sued Google
Why leave
and
it?
said take these things down.
Why would Google even be liable for that? They would just get rid of the whole.
Well,
Okay.
and then there's the other question of, if you post on all these places, who owns your content? Everybody heard about the recent thing with Facebook where they said, we own your content forever and ever. We can do whatever we want with it.
Yeah.
And everybody in the universe said, whoa, wait a minute. Well, guess what, folks? You go back to GeoCities. GeoCities and Yahoo, they own everything. Flickr, they own your content.
Right.
They own a license to your content.
People don't do defined terms readings when they're signing up for these things.
Right. So you really need to. It's not only you're putting your stuff out there for other people to see. You're giving up ownership and you're giving up control. So what you want to do with all these places, build your own WordPress.
Well, your own WordPress blog and just blog there.
Yep, blog on your own website. A domain costs you $3.99, $4.99 a month, and WordPress isn't that tough to install. That's going to be another podcast, the screencast. That's going to be my first screencast.
That'll be your baby.
It's going to be my first screencast, hopefully within the next couple of days, is how to install WordPress.
I'll have my tech department help you with that.
That would be me. So, like people are talking about Facebook pages and stuff. What do you think you should do with a Facebook page?
Delete it. I hate Facebook.
No, stop.
Facebook pages, my experience with them hasn't been that good so far, but I really don't use them that much because, once again, I'm in control. My content goes on my sites. You could take, say you write an article for your blog, you can take the first paragraph and spin it a little bit just to change it up for the search engines, and maybe put that on Facebook with a link back to your blog.
Perfect.
That's about the only thing I would use Facebook for.
Perfect. And that's exactly what people should be using all of these places for. Facebook, MySpace, Google Pages, Blogspot, Tumblr.
I'm doing very well with MySpace, doing just that formula right there that I just explained. I'd rather be on MySpace. For me, the format's easier, and there's less people hitting me with zombies and all that garbage.
Well, MySpace has its own kind of spam. Even I get a lot of requests from very good-looking women that all want to be my friend and take me out on dates. And
send them my way.
Yeah, okay. And all the gurus and all the MLM people, because I have the word affiliate in my profile at MySpace, I get 25, 30 spam friend requests every day.
You see, I'm the opposite. All of my sites have MySpace pages. It has nothing to do with. It doesn't say affiliate anywhere.
Right.
So I'm just getting Awesome Records is a perfect example. I'm getting NASCAR folks, and NASCAR people want to join the NASCAR community, and they end up on my website without them even knowing it.
That's awesome. Sorry, I just love that word. So, but yes, that's a very good. Now let's talk a little bit about Awesome Records, because you're actually using a lot of social media.
Twitter.
To bring traffic, not just Twitter, to bring traffic back to that website. And you're using it as an example for people, so you don't mind talking about it a little bit, even though it's an affiliate site. Tell us a little bit about your strategy.
Well, NASCAR on Twitter is probably my best, how do I say it, my best experiment. Because Twitter itself, the community, has its in NASCAR community. And they all get together and they trade links with each other, and there's a passionate fan base. So that's all I have to do is post one thing to Twitter on my Awesome profile, and I end up with 400, maybe 500 people back to my site instantly. And
also, didn't you recently get on a little radio show because of being on Twitter?
Yeah, I was on a little podcast, and I didn't like what I was, but it worked, because now I have a whole different people who were listening to the podcast end up being back on my site. But that isn't the reason why I was on the podcast. I was on the podcast because I was a diehard NASCAR fan.
Right. But see, this is what it all brings back to, is that you're using your social networking not to have links on Twitter that go out to affiliate programs, not to have links
all back to your website.
Not to have links on your Facebook profile or your MySpace profile that go to directly to your affiliate programs that you're pushing. or they just all go back to the Awesome Wreckage website where
Sure.
you have a blog and a forum.
Where I can end up changing the affiliate programs, and it would still be leading the people back to my page.
Right. So
5
on
years
the
from now,
fly,
to say we get a better sports merchant. Not that I haven't researched that, but it could happen. My affiliate
Right.
program could go out of business, and now I'm stuck with another merchant.
Mhm.
That space from my space directly to the merchant would be
dead.
dead.
End of day.
End of day. I like using that term a lot.
Yeah, I noticed that lately. End of day.
End of day.
Done. Well, I think people need to realize that because they're all sitting there and they're all, like a good friend of mine. She said to me, why do I want to drive people to Facebook?
You're not driving people to
You
Facebook.
don't, exactly.
You're driving people away from Facebook.
Right. The people that find you because they did a search in Facebook and you showed up in that search, you're driving them back to your website.
I forget what the numbers are. It's like 30 million people join Facebook or something like that.
Mhm.
Some crazy number.
And it's
So-
actually more people, not the teenagers. As a
Right.
matter of fact, the teenagers are leaving Facebook because their parents and their grandparents are showing up on Facebook.
Yeah, that's correct. End of day for the teenagers.
And the teenagers, they're being spied on.
Yeah, so just a regular text link back to your site from Facebook, because the users are on Facebook. You have to go to where the users are,
Right.
which was a big mistake back in the day. You figured you could build a shop and they will come. No, you have to go get them and bring them into your shop,
Hmm.
and not in a spammy way.
Right. Exactly. And you can also use RSS feeds to pull content from if you're using WordPress as your home base, you can use RSS feeds that only bring an excerpt instead of bringing your entire articles
Correct.
over into Facebook, over into Twitter, over into Aweber, over into, I don't know if you can in MySpace or not. I'm sure there
You can
probably
even
is.
put them on your website. You pull your own RSS feed into your website. This way it looks like you have fresh content all the time using that widget box. I think
Yes.
is what I was using.
Is that spiderable or is that just,
No, but if you put that in your somewhere near your navigation, it looks like
it's fresh
It's
for
fresh
people who are
content.
visiting.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just
a couple ways.
Yeah. So be where the people are, but be aware that you don't want to get them to Facebook and keep them in Facebook.
Right. And don't
You-
waste a lot of time doing this.
Exactly.
Spend more time developing your site and just a snippet of time going to Facebook and posting. And
Right.
I said Facebook. Oh, God, I hate
Twitter.
Facebook. Twitter.
Now,
Twitter-
Twitter's really good because you can pull in your RSS feed from your WordPress,
Right.
but don't just set it and forget it. Actually go in and talk to have conversations. Don't just set your feed to auto.
The best part about Twitter with the NASCAR site is I've met other NASCAR webmasters, and these guys are all page rank 4, 5, 6, 7, and just asking for a link, and boom, back and forth. We each share each other's traffic.
You don't even have to ask, do you? You've
No.
gone to sites and said, whoa, look, there's my link. How did that get there?
Yeah, correct.
So Twitter is being a very Twitter is like the new kid on the block social network, but it actually is the one that is really being the most social
Right.
and the most helpful. I know that for some of my websites that I'm starting out with Twitter accounts, I've got one that I've been able to build a huge following very quickly just by going through and following people in the same niche. And it's making a huge traffic difference.
What I like about Twitter is people retweet your message.
Mhm.
Now, I sent my thing out. I think it's 350 followers right now
Mhm.
following me.
On Awesome Wreckage.
Right. If each one of them, not that it's going to happen, retweeted my message to their friends, and they all have 300
Well, actually,
friends.
though, when you tweet something interesting, there's about 10 people that go and retweet you.
Right.
And, there's the NASCAR fashionistas. I love what they post, and I'll retweet what they say. And you retweet some of the blog posts that you read. If someone does something interesting and does it first, there's a lot of, using NASCAR as the example, there are a lot of newsletter type sites, because NASCAR creates a lot of news.
Mhm.
And there's 43 drivers that hit the track every week, and there are people that love each one of those 43 drivers. And you get someone who's following one, and your person, your writer on Awesome Wreckage
Is awesome.
is awesome. And if she writes an article that's about somebody's favorite driver that they haven't had any content on lately, and they retweet it, and their people retweet. All of a sudden, you've gotten to 2,000 people.
Right. Like I've said in the earlier podcast, I'm getting 73% of my traffic from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's traffic that I don't have to pay for, pay-per-click and all of that stuff, which I don't do anyway. But that's free traffic.
And they're signing up at the forum. They're coming to the forum. They're signing up for the newsletter.
That's even more important. They're signing up for the newsletter, because once I have them on a newsletter, I can hit them up every time I post a new article or every time I get a special in my affiliate, program.
Mm-hmm.
I can run contests, and they tell their friends about the contest, and next thing you know, they're joining the forum and the site also. So.
Well, and that's another good
we need
example.
to do a thing just on newsletters.
We will.
I'll have to mark that down.
We will. One of the other really important things about Awesome Wreckage is when you first started it, you had some ideas about what sports merchants you wanted to promote.
Yep.
But some affiliate managers found you on Twitter, saw what you were doing, and contacted you.
Yeah. And the best part is they even ask me, what commission is this guy giving you? And I end up telling them, such and such, and then they beat it. So
right.
Meanwhile, they're competing, so I'm getting better affiliate programs. And
is that where you have one of your white label sites?
Yeah. You can say that.
Well, no, I mean, if someone goes to the site, they'll see it. It's not like it's a secret. There are, you got some extra attention from an affiliate manager because you had a community that you were building.
Correct.
He saw how you were building the community, and you were using social media to build it.
Right.
And it was worth their while to give you an extra deal,
better commission.
If something and a better commission. But again, if you were sending all that traffic direct to him and not back to your Awesome Wreckage website, if for some reason that affiliate manager left and that affiliate program went out of business, or someone else came along and gave you a better deal, you can swap out.
I can swap merchants all I want.
Yep, you can add
all of that traffic that I. Say a year from now, somebody is going from Facebook and clicking on a text link back to my site, and that merchant went out of business. That still has no effect on me because that merchant would be replaced on the page anyway.
Right.
In that time.
Right.
So.
And if you have new products to add, you add them to your website, and then you blast that out via the social networking.
Right.
And again, you're sending people back to your site with those blasts. You send out a newsletter that comes back to your website.
I never liked the word blast.
I know. I'm sorry. That's something that it's
a newsletter.
I'm not an affiliate that does newsletter blasts, but I was an affiliate manager that I worked for a very large company that did email, and we called them email blasts.
I have chosen careful customers who are eagerly awaiting my newsletter as we speak.
Yes. They look forward to your email information.
The best is when I get an email back from somebody and it's like 4 pages long, I'll ask them if I can use that as content, and that ends up being on my website.
Yeah.
That newsletter, which free content.
That's great.
Always rocks.
That's great. And the cool thing is that, with several of your websites, people find you on MySpace and they find you on Facebook. More so on MySpace.
I use MySpace and Twitter more than Facebook.
Right.
I've actually deleted my Facebook account, 3 times so far?
Yeah. But again, you need to have a presence, even if it's just a minimal presence. Right. People, you can set up just a minimal profile and just have the links that go back. So if someone is searching for you or searching for your website
on Facebook,
right.
I will be found probably.
You'll be found, but you don't have to spend a lot of time on that, and you can turn off all the applications so that you're not getting hit with vampires and beer bongs.
Virtual beer bongs. Yeah.
I love when your neighbor comes over and says he sent you a beer and you didn't take it.
Yeah. I could be in AA for the last 7 years. He wouldn't know he's sending me a beer and sending me back on the wagon, off the wagon. That's a nice lawsuit, huh?
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. So. Well, I think we did a nice job talking about this topic tonight. I'm pleased. I think we made our point. Hopefully, you guys listening got something out of it and understand the point we were trying to make. And if you have more questions, feel free to go to either Geekcast FM, geekcast.fm, or affiliateabcs.com, which will point to the podcast wherever it happens to be, and you can leave us messages on our right on the post that has the podcast in it. If you pick this up at iTunes, go to affiliateabcs.com and leave us a message and, tell us what you think.
Just remember, always be in control of your content.
Control your content, own your content. Make sure no one else owns your content, and think of your website as your home base where you are sending everybody to go. You can meet them at a party, but you want to send them to your house.
That's a good one.
Okay. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.